Drivers have come a long way since I was a junior golfer, and to see just how far, I'm going to hit every single driver I've owned and see how much longer the new ones are, or if they are even longer at all. I'll be hitting the range with a GC quad to get some numbers and then go out and play 9 holes with my old drivers versus my brand new Callaway Epic Max LS. Meeting up with Corey, the owner of the GC quad, we kick things off with my very first driver, an 11-degree Acer.
This is my Acer series professional tour, apparently. 11 degrees of loft, and it has a low torque ladies shaft because it was for when I was 11 years old. It's so light. Oh my God. The grip is basically painted on.
My first ever driver. Oh, the nostalgia.
Can I get this to 200 yards? That is straight out the heel and a great start.
When I was that old, all I wanted in the entire world was a driver. And when Christmas came one year, there was one waiting for me under the tree. The club head on this thing is probably about the size of a modern 7-wood and was predictably not that forgiving. The hardest thing was actually trying to hit one in the middle of the club face.
Wow, that's in the air this time. 206 yards. Oh my God, look at this spin. 4,000 revs.
My swing speed nowadays is probably a bit too quick for this extra flexy lady shaft, but was probably perfect for me about 23 years ago.
No. Oh, it's so hard to hit.
In the end, my average carry was just under 200 yards with a spin of 3,450 RPMs on average.
That was actually me.
This driver is pretty much a modern fairway wood, but after a few more goes, I did push this club to its limit.
One more, Corey. Oh, there it is. 229. Come here, look at it. 3,000 revs, 229 carry.
Onto my second driver, the biggest Big Bertha. Oh yeah, let those memories flow free, my friend, as we hit what was then a monster-sized club head.
So this isn't actually mine, but a friend just so happened to have one. Pro Force 65 Gold Tour Reserve shaft. It doesn't actually say if it's stiff or not from the waggle test. Probably stiff. The grip is atrocious, so this might just fly out into the range.
When I got this thing in the bag, I thought all my wildest dreams had come true, and I figured I was now destined for the PGA Tour. But what kind of numbers can I achieve with it nowadays? Surprise, surprise, it was hard to hit by modern standards.
I'm feeling a good one now. Nope.
The poor conditioned grip probably didn't help either. At this point in my swing development, I have a really in-to-out swing, and this created a lot of heel strikes.
My God, it's so hard.
But finally, I found what I thought was the middle of the club face. We discovered that it was definitely spinning less than the Acer driver at just over 3,000 RPM, and it had an increase in ball speed of 5 miles per hour, which equated to an extra 20 yards of carry on average, with the max being 235 yards. Wowee, can you believe the gains here?
Oh, 232. I thought I hit that better.
For my third driver, it was my absolute favorite, the Titleist Titanium J, where the J stands for Jumbo.
This was everything when I got this club. This is what I got to a 9 handicap back when getting to a 9 handicap was difficult. A crazy big grip. I got this secondhand. Wow, this actually has this is the same shaft. This is the Tour Reserve. This is the low torque S-Flex. This is an iconic shaft. Oh. We're going big.
With a 312cc club head, at one point this was the most played driver on tour.
I have high hopes. I know they say don't have expectations in golf, but I have expectations. Oh! Come on. 235. No! No!
Every hit with this club felt so good. It took me back to the glory days.
Oh, come on.
But how did it stack up at the end of the test? Well, the spin drops down a little bit more and we're down to an even 3,000 RPM with the Titleist. So that's 200 or so less than the biggest Big Bertha.
Oh, it's just straight.
The overall carry didn't go up that much either, clocking 236 yards on average.
should put this in the bag.
But that was the maximum of the Biggest Big Bertha. For this club, we also put the white dots on the club face to measure swing speed, and I was able to pump a whopping 104 miles an hour out of this beast.
This is such a good golf club. 243 yards of carry.
And now we jump more than 20 years into the future as we look at my off-the-rack Cobra F8. I bought this last year because, well, I needed a driver and it was pretty affordable. It has a stiff shaft and is set at 9 degrees.
The grip feels so slim. The club head is 50% bigger, 460cc.
Right out the gate, this thing carried 241 yards, and that was hitting it straight out the heel, compared to a center hit on the Titleist Titanium J. I was also able to generate more speed with this club too.
107 club head speed.
Which translates to an average ball speed of 150 miles an hour, a whopping 1.7 miles an hour more than the Titleist. We've reduced our spin down again to 2,700 RPM, and the average carry with this club was 242 yards.
I mean, that's pretty good. 108 club head speed.
You can really see that the gains here are pretty marginal between these clubs, but at the top end I managed to carry this 270 yards, compared to the maximum of 248 yards on the Titleist Titanium. But we do suspect that those readings of 270 yards might be some outliers,
274 carry.
as the ball might have been a little bit wet and affecting the numbers.
1600 revs of spin, that's like nothing.
Now it's time to take a look at what I can get out of the largest investment I've ever made in a golf club, the Callaway Epic Max Low Spin. When I got fitted for this, the goal was to maximize rollout for my tee shots and get my ball flight a bit lower.
Mitsubishi 60 gram stiff shaft. I think this goes a lot further than the Cobra. Oh, that's roasted. 107, 259.
Oh, look at that. It carried further. Oh, money well spent. Okay, we're all good here. But as you might have figured out, this was at the end of a long range session, and the golfer was already low on energy before we started, and it became very hard to get out as much as I wanted to from each swing. And the numbers showed this as I was getting some pretty random results. But the average spin was 2,300 RPM, which is pretty ideal for a driver and exactly the reason I bought it. While the average carry was only 242 for this session, it's safe to say that this was due to my physical exhaustion. But really, there isn't much difference in carry between this and the Cobra F8. It was more about how it rolled out after the ball landed. Oh yeah, and it's worth noting that all of these numbers are with range balls. So I wonder what would happen with a real ball on a real course. To find out, I played the first 9 holes at my home course of Squamish Valley Golf Club, obviously skipping the par 3s.
I'm gonna take 2 golf balls, and these are brand new Pro V1s that I won at the nearest to the pin in the club championship. Humble brag, I know. For one drive, I'm gonna be using my new Callaway Epic Max Low Spin. And then for the other ball, I'm either gonna use the Cobra F8 Titleist Titanium J or the Acer Series driver from when I was 11 years old. Unfortunately, the Biggest Big Bertha hasn't made it because I gave it back to Jeff, who owns it. So it'll be 3 holes each.
And it all started just as you'd expect from a mid-level golfer, with 2 balls hooked savagely to the left. It was actually pretty hard to see where the balls went, with the low light of the afternoon sun inhibiting how well we could see the balls. After the first tee shot with 2 bad strikes, the new driver technology helps my A ball go that little bit further.
Confirmed, A ball. So I guess hole 1, the new driver is paying off, and I've made 20 yards, so it's a good investment.
After finishing out the hole, I've managed to card 2 bogeys. So at this point, there's no difference whatsoever. I should probably work my short game.
2 bogeys to start off with. It's all square after 1.
Anyway, it's time for hole 2, and we have the same problem again with the low sun.
So not the best first hole for both drivers. It's definitely not my fault. Second hole, shorter par 4.
The Callaway gets hit off the heel just like every shot we did in the simulator. I should probably work on that. But it's time to bust out the Titleist Titanium J.
So here we have ball B, I'm quite sure, yeah. A little bit off the heel. Now, I suspect that the Callaway was also a little bit off the heel, but it went quite a bit further. That has flown wildly out of the rough. 65 yards. We're going to assume 25 yards further, which I guess is a couple of clubs.
I found the green with the Callaway ball, but go over the back with the Titleist ball. After a good up and down and a two-putt, oh, the score's still level. On the third hole, I put the Callaway into the trees, and uninhibited by nature, the Acer goes into pretty much the same spot.
Ball B here. The junior driver we have a shot in. Ball A. Look at this shot here we've got here.
Annoyingly, I have no shot in with the Callaway and mess the rest of this hole up.
No, bad it and gone in the bunker.
While I was able to make par with the Acer drive, which means that the old drivers have a one-shot advantage.
Can you believe it? Oh. Old drivers are one in front.
Onto the long par 4 fourth hole, the technology in the drivers isn't going to help me at all as I struggle with my energy levels. Something that I bet all of us amateur golfers can relate to. Both balls go nowhere and I'm miles from the hole. While I hook my 7-wood with the A ball a long way left of the green, I hit the greatest 4-iron punch hook shot of my life and I'm on the green with ball B.
Shots I've ever hit. Can you zoom in? Zoom in on the green.
The old drivers have got another shot up on the new school and go 2 in front.
Oh.
As we hit the par 5 6th hole, some errors really reveal themselves. As I said before, my savage miss is a big hook, and here the Cobra shows just how bad it can be. The first shot is left going left, and then the provisional does the exact same thing, but bounces out from the trees and into this bunker. But the Callaway actually put me perfectly in the fairway. Now, yes, it was a better strike, but I really noticed that these catastrophic misses are minimized with this club. After making a par with A ball, B ball puts in a double bogey and it's all square. Now, this next hole is the biggest upset of the entire day. After a bad strike with the Callaway, I still have that nice draw and it's bounded down the fairway on this shorter par 4. But then, out of nowhere, the Acer unleashes a bomb straight down the fairway. A slower, smoother swing and I found the sweet spot. And when I go to find out the results...
You won't believe it. They're pretty much exactly the same. What we've got here. A driver, B driver.
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, this was hit really not that great. That was hit the best it could ever possibly be. But still.
And after all that, I get pars with both balls. So we have one bad swing and one in a million swing here, and the result is the same. And on the very next hole, the same thing happened. No idea how I hit the Aces so well twice in a row.
Get out. Get out. Here is B ball in position A. There's A ball over there. Pulled it a little bit and it caught a bounce. And now it's behind the tree and we're probably the same distance away from the flag. Didn't hit that well. I'm very stiff.
I get punished with a poor position with the A ball and end up with a bogey. Unfortunately, the Titleist does not deliver on all those precious memories and the duck hook comes out, losing another ball. The Callaway, on the other hand, is roasted down the middle. So that's now 2 balls lost with the old drivers and none with the Callaway.
It's like a 290-yard drive, 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like exhausted. There's no way any of the other clubs could get that.
I make birdie with the A ball and an annoying bogey with the B ball, and we see a 2-shot swing.
This is the hole. Par 5, definitely gettable in 2. At least it hasn't been with the Epic. I've never got on in 2 with the Cobra. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. My back is pretty tight. It's like, what, 9 o'clock or something? Oh. Could be bunker. Oh. Cobra for sure is going to be safe. It all depends if I carried the bunker with the Callaway.
But there's nothing between these 2 tee shots, as with the last drives of the day, I somehow pull out the best 2 swings I've had. Unfortunately, the A ball lands in the bunker, and I bet the B ball had the exact same carry, but it landed in the fairway. I'm on in 2 with the Cobra for the first time ever. But just before we see if I can make an eagle, if you enjoyed this video, then hit the subscribe button to catch future videos of my journeys with golf. It's fun, and it's completely free to do so.
Hit it closer from 170 yards than I did from 80.
And if you're doing that, then hit the like button at the same time.
Oh my god, that's so short.
I unfortunately catch a lip on the eagle putt and tap in for birdie. The new driver is officially 1 shot better than all my other drivers, and that, my friends, is pure science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the course.